Good morning and welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. Today I'm excited to share with you this stamp set called Gallery Grunge. And the reason I'm excited is because I was playing with it last Thursday just before my monthly open house, and I decided I wanted to see what else I could do with specifically this stamp in the set. This stamp set, in my mind, was a filler and a collage maker, which it certainly does. But I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, to find out that I could make a full page background with this stamp and not see the overlap that you usually see when you try to match up a stamp to keep going in either direction without the use of a stamparatus. And it's just such a forgiving stamp. It was made so well with the lines in it that you can line it up with no effort at all and make beautiful backgrounds. So I shared it at open house as my demo that day, and everyone was as excited as I was with that set. They all wrote it down. I think they'll be ordering it soon, and realizing that you can do more than what was originally what it was originally meant for is exciting. And also I decided, I just wonder what this medium daisy punch, I wonder what a daisy would look like with that wooden background. I tend to lean towards the shabby chic, country, rustic type of look, and the darker colors, the regals. So I want, and white and vanilla, which are my favorite bases that I normally use. So let's get started. I want to show you the card that I made. It's quick and easy. I hope you like it. And the other thing that pleasantly surprised me was that the scripty background, I see a glare here. Let me get this where you can see it better. There you go. The scripty background, which is a folder, just coordinated beautifully with this rustic wooden background. Now remember, the stamp is not this large, but this is the background you can create using it. Isn't that awesome? Okay, let's get started. So to make this card, you will need a full sheet of Whisper White cardstock, cut in half, regular, so that is 5.5 by 8.5, 5.5 by 8.5. That is the size of a regular card. And well, let me pull you down to my desk so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got, see, this is the regular one piece of 8.5 by 11. See there, but I cut it in half, lay it landscape and cut it in half, so 5.5 by 4.5. And then the other two pieces cut in half, and those would measure now 4.25 by 5.5. So one of the pieces I embossed with the scripty embossing folder, and one I'm going to stamp on. And this one here, our basic card base, is going to get folded in half, and then you're going to need a bone folder. Everything I'm showing you is in our Stampin' Up catalog. And then you're going to wing it back and get this beautiful, perfect seam. Okay, now we can set that aside for our base for now, and let's get stamping. So out of the Gallery Grunge stamp set, you will need this stamp. And I used Early Espresso ink. This is a ink pad that I have had forever and a day, but they last that long, so that's perfect to know, right? I'm going to turn my stamp over so I can look at it and see that I inked it up well, and then I'm going to turn it over, and starting by placing my cardstock on the grid line so I know it's straight, I'm going to come down to the left bottom corner and stamp this stamp. Okay, isn't that pretty? Now that's just beautiful to start a base and continue on stamping with something else if you'd like. But like I said, I wanted to see if I could create a full background, like the big, large background stamps with this wood plank, because I love, 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 love herringbone. And see there, I just any patterns, brick, wood, anything that's in the herringbone pattern, I find extremely attractive. And so I wanted to see if this herringbone pattern would be able to fill up a whole layer piece of cardstock. So see here, I've layered on top of the first stamping image, and look how gorgeous that looks. It looks like it just is one stamp that creates the whole background, and that just brings me so much joy because I will be able to use this stamp so many more ways than I thought originally. I've had this stamp set for a while. It's not new. It's not new this year. It's been in the catalog, but with all the new stuff I have and Paper Pumpkin, and I just didn't play with it. And so on Thursday morning, I open at noon, and usually people start showing up about 12:30 or so. And so I come out just to make sure everything's, lights are on, music's on, food's out. And then I start just playing around until my customers come. And look at this background. Is that not crazy? I just love it. So that one stamp creates a whole background. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to make this card. Let me bring it back up here. So while I was creating this, I just totally fell in love, and it was really quick and easy. So I decided to show my customers when they came, and yep, they loved it just as much as I did. So everybody's like, what's the name of that stamp set? Where's it at in the catalog? Oh my gosh. And then I thought, like I said at the beginning, that I wondered what it would look like to have a daisy made with this wood grain background. So I used the medium punch, the medium daisy punch, which I should put on my glasses, which is new. And I just punched out 3 daisies so I could layer them. So you need the daisy punch if you want to recreate this card. Put this stuff behind me. And then I wanted to use this piece on my card also. So I bring your paper trimmer over and just cut off the pieces that were punched, and you have this layer piece here for you. Okay, so now all you have to do is get some dimensionals. And I had mentioned Paper Pumpkin a minute ago. I make sure that I pull all my adhesives that come in my kits out, and I put them with my other adhesives so I can be sure to use those up. And when I'm layering this, I am simply placing down a dimensional in the middle of the daisy, pulling up the protective adhesive paper, and alternating the petals for a fluffier look. And then I simply bend up like this to give it even more dimension. Now on this card, I place the new centers. They're Essence, I forget their name, but they're in the catalog also. I cannot put them on this card right now because tonight I have a Facebook Live. I invite you to watch that. It's every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm running low on these, and the card that I'm making for Facebook Live tonight needs the ones I have left. So I'll just show you this one. This card will be exact, except it won't have this on there because I've got an order of 3 more packs coming, but they're not, I just placed the order, so they're not here yet. So right now I would, these are self-adhesive also, the little centers. So I just pull off the backing and stick in the middle, and this flower would be done. Okay, so I'm going to take the layer piece here and put it right on top of the piece with the scripty. Look how pretty that is. I wanted to finish off the end though. I didn't want it to be a sharp cut, so I decided I would place our polka dot ribbon, which is another item in the catalog. It was in last year. It was new last year. And oh, I'm so glad that they carried it over this year, because this ribbon is soft, it's thin, it's like a tooling, and so it doesn't cause a lot of bulk. And I just got to see where I'm going to place it. Right there. Okay. So I use it all the time for my projects. And I took my snail upstairs too for my live tonight. So what am I going to use? I guess I'm going to have to use glue, since that's all I have here right now. Let me measure again because I lost my spot. Okay. Normally I would use snail right here, or Scotch tape. So you can lay your ribbon down and then just cut off a piece of Scotch tape and lay it over the top, and that will make it stay. Or you can use your snail. The Tombow glue works, but it's wet, so it doesn't dry instantly, and then you get a little on your fingers, and that's the only reason I don't use it for that part of my project normally. But I put it over too far. It's too close, so I'm going to move it. And even if you had snail or Scotch tape, you could move it, so no biggie at all. Okay, there we go. That's better. So I'm going to straighten that out. And then I am going to place this layer piece onto my card. And at this point, I do use the multi-purpose glue, and I do that because it's so strong. I am guaranteed that this card will not come apart through the mail, or if it's very, very hot outside, or if it gets heavy, if I start to embellish a lot and it's carrying a lot of weight. With putting it together with the multi-purpose will ensure that that it does not come apart. So I'm going to do the same with my background piece. And when you do this, I want you to put it on very, very lightly, because if you add a lot of glue, a couple of things will happen. Your cardstock could get very hard when the glue dries, and you're wasting it, so you have to buy more faster, and there's no need because it's very, very strong. So now you'll notice on my card that I had this decorative border here. And I just realized I didn't cut out some extra leaves. So I'm just going to have to steal them from Peter to pay Paul. This set is called Delicate Lace. It's one that I use a lot. It comes with these 3 delicate laces. I love intricate. I love scallops. I love everything about it. And at first thought, people say, oh, Bev, that's so intricate. It's probably going to be hard to get all the little doodads out of it. But see how easy that was if you have the die brush and foam back. We have in the catalog new now, there's a foam brush that fits on the back of your take your pick tool. And if you get that, you can have all the little doodads pop out really quick and easy for you. No hassle at all, I promise. And I'm going to, again, go to my multi-purpose. Try to stay as light as you can. Just practice being light. Most people have a heavy hand at first, but if you practice being light, you'll get it. And then I'm going to add one more dimensional on my card and place my daisy there. Okay. Now these leaves come from the dies that coordinate with Wild Rose. Here they are here. Let me take 2 off. Okay, just because I want to show you how I do this. So I run this die from the Wild Rose dies. It comes with beautiful dies, but in it is this beautiful little leaf. So I use that one. And I used Pear Pizzazz cardstock. And this cardstock is, I told myself I wouldn't forget, and I always do. Let me look for you real quick. So Saffron. So Saffron. And that matches really, really well with the centers that go in there. And now we're going to need mini glue dots. And I would put them on the back of the leaf. Oh, that's the back right there. So I got to turn it over. Easiest part of the project, and I fumble it. And then just stick it down underneath the flower. Try to make sure it's not hanging off the card like this, because then it won't fit in your envelope. You don't want that. And I have another one that's stuck to my thumb, so I'm going to use that one. Maybe. Okay, and then you just stick that in like that. One of my tricks too is taking at least, let me see, that's 26 inches maybe of, that's what I measured on this one. So let's see how we like it, of the linen thread. And I double it, and then I double it again. And now I make a bow. And I do that because I want the bow to be substantial. This linen thread is thin, and it needs to be for some projects, but for others, when you want to make a little bow and you want it to stand out and add to the look of your card, then if you double it, triple it, quadruple it, whatever, you'll have a more substantial bow. And I think they're very attractive. And then I'm just cutting where the loops are to let those be free. Go back to my mini glue dots, put the knot right down onto a mini glue dot and press, pull up, and then stick this on wherever I want it to be. Okay, so without the little yellow flower, it looks a little plain, but I'll stick it on there so you can see how it looks finished. So these elements together, the lace, the herringbone background, the polka dotted tooling, the scripty white, this card is very stunning. I just love it. So I hope you do too. And remember tonight, Stampin' All Day with Bev on Facebook Live on my Facebook page. You can watch me make another card where I will be using these yellow centers too, but I'll be teaching another technique. So I hope you fell in love with Gallery Grunge, just like I did, and now you know that you can create awesome backgrounds using this stamp set and this one stamp. But there's more stamps in there, so let's see, can we make other backgrounds? Well, for a masculine card, how about this? I think that's a great background to start with. Oh, for men, yeah, it's just great. Can you imagine in colors for kids? Let your imagination go, come back to your youth and playing with colors, and have fun. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye.